Okay, guys, I won't waste your time. I'll jump right into it. I made a Dokkan Diamond about units basically of all time and their releases, and I'll show it to you and I'll give my explanations after. Here it is. This is my Dokkan releases of all time Diamond. Um, I guess I'll just start with like the top row, the godly row. For AGL, I was between these two. Honestly, AGL maybe am I missing anyone from AGL that I'm not thinking of? I really can't think of anyone that was more hyped than them. Okay, I wanted to put Super Good. I guess, hey, I should probably put Super Gogeta. Probably fits in right above you. Okay, and I'd have to move you down. That's probably the only thing I would change about this is I would add him in. I guess I didn't think about that, but EGL kinda is not as stacked for the competition for first place as you would think. I think if you look at like tech, I have Tech Ultimate Gohan as the best tech release of all time, and I think people who were around, you know, like this is the number one tech release of all time. He was just that guy for so long. He was so good on release. Guard plus stacking in his era was just crazy. For Int, I have Int UI Goku. Him releasing so close to when it happened in the anime was just like peak. And it's like, honestly, Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku should be in this STR chart. If he released the day, if LR Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku released the day that Goku went Super Saiyan 4 in Daima, he would be on here. He'd easily be on here. But just like if you look at like the hype of that character's release and how people view him, it's not as positive. I have Cooler above these two, three, four. I mean, some people might want to disagree with me about this, and you can, but I think in terms of just how the community viewed this character on release in his celebration, I think he easily takes the cake. And then for physical, I have LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, very self-explanatory. Moving down the roads, I guess we'll start with physical. The 30th anniversary LRs, just looking at them, I think they deserve to be high up here because they were kind of our first fusing units, and they were very, very hype for what they were and when they dropped. But I don't think they definitely were viewed in sort of like a Tech Ultimate Gohan lens when they shouldn't have been. People definitely thought that they were still good for a very long time, and I think it's because Dokkan moved into an era after the third anniversary where they were just consistently like they got into their pattern of anniversary, then units come back at Tanabata, units also come back, or the anniversary units also come back on the Worldwide Down celebration, and so these were kind of like right now I have who's a good example? Right now I have I guess I don't have the 10th anniversary with lots of dupes, but I have oh my god, Worldwide before 10th anniversary. It was Broly in them. I guess I don't. I have Broly with dupes. I have Int LR Broly, the Dokkan Fest LR. I have him with plenty of dupes, and I have 9th anniversary. Like I have Beast Gohan Rainbowed, and I feel like these characters released around that time where you started to just have like moving into the 5th anniversary. I guess we didn't get crazy power creep until Extreme Super Battle Road, and both of these characters, like you basically they got dupes in your account as a free-to-play player around the same time we would get like tiny levels of power creep, so they were just still relevant so long after. But it will for free-to-play players, they were still very strong options so far after, because you pull the new unit at 55% versus this old unit you have at Rainbow. And I really do think that is why these characters were viewed as a little bit more positive lens, but how they were viewed is just how they were viewed. I mean, it's Tech Ultimate Gohan. Like they didn't power creep him for a long time, so I mean they would have to do a lot to power creep him and keep the game intact, which they did with Red Zone. They have to do a lot, and even then he was still pretty decent. So it's like you got to do what you got to do, and I think that their situation was just very coincidental that led them to be viewed as way better releases than they probably should have been, but it still worked out that way. And I have right here, obviously I have the 5th anniversary LRs, kind of in the same like tier, but they definitely were. I think on release, the 5th anniversary LRs are probably, in my opinion, like the day they dropped on JP Dokkan was they were viewed as the most hyped characters ever. In my opinion, I think they even surpassed like the 7th anniversary LRs and how people viewed them. I think they were definitely above them, but I think they just like they aged. Like we're already about to move. Think about it. We're moving into Sand Day right now. Imagine if we were moving into Sand Day and we got difficult content for this Sand Day that made Diamond Super Saiyan 4 Goku look like a bitch. Like, imagine that happened. That's what happened to the 5th anniversary LRs, and that's why I think they don't deserve these number 1 slots. I think they would be number 1 up here if that didn't happen, but unfortunately it did. And speaking about power creep quickly, I think these two, Super Gogeta, Super Vegito, they would be higher if that was, if that didn't happen to them during GDC. I think they were, you could argue this guy a bit high. I think Tech is just super stacked with Tech Ultimate Gohan here, 5th anniversary LR, 7th anniversary LR, 10th, Tech is stacked. Tech is very, very stacked. I just don't see it. Like, these two released in the same year, and seeing the reaction to both of them, it's just like, I don't see the justification of Super Gogeta above Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and Blue Gogeta releasing so close to when the movie released, it just gave him such a massive advantage. Moving down, I guess, a little bit, we'll look at 7th anniversary LRs. Obviously, we know they're crazy hype, very highly viewed release. This character, he got aged out, but the community still loved him because he was still always crazy in the Omega fight. So I think the community just will always and has always viewed this guy as a very, very high tier hype character. And Beast Gohan, I think, is he's probably the best unit of all time on release, and he's also just like the first Beast Gohan we got. But I think he should be 1. Like, it's like with Tech Vegito, these two should be 1. This guy should be 1, but it's just like he didn't release as close. Like, if he look at this guy right here, I have this guy right here and this guy right here, because guess what? They were new additions to the series and they dropped immediately. Like, or not this for this guy, it wasn't like immediately, but like it was extremely close to when they were shown. And so it's like, if this guy got that same treatment, he'd be up here. But moving down a bit more, I guess this, it's just Blue Gogeta. Like, it's a Carnival LR Blue Gogeta. He had Dokkan original animations. He wasn't bad. He was really good. There's not like that. That's a recipe for success. The Gammas, I have the Gammas on here, and I have let's look at Int a bit. Like, I'll look at Int for you guys, but I just really think something that people don't talk about enough is how much aura the Gammas have after these two release. Like, these two were like the best release that Dokkan has handled since like Int UI and AGL Super Saiyan Gogeta into Blue Gogeta. Like, these two, they handled their release so well, and they were so good, and they were so fun, and they were on the same banner, 2 Dokkan Fest, like, they handled that so good. And so what I think, like, that just gave like every single Gamma release that we get in Dokkan just gets like a hype boost because of how well they were handled here. Like, I feel like that even in like Legends, I feel like they get an artificial hype boost because of how well they were handled in Dokkan on release. Like, I really do think that. But I have Ginyu, I have Orange Piccolo, I have the LR Gammas. This character, the reason I have them here is because they're like LR Int Super Saiyan 4 Goku, where they just got like a lot of copium because people love them. You can tell that a character is beloved when they get a lot of copium. And I think these two got a lot of copium for them being better than they actually were. But also, like, I have LR Father Son Kamehameha. I have not Father Son Kamehameha, LR Father Son Gallic Gun. I have that unit on here because they were just so crazy on release, and their leader skill was insane. Like, they had crazy good animations, and they had like manga animations in there too. Like, it was if they're gonna release a character that's like a Dokkan Fest LR in the era that they were, that wasn't like pinnacle hype. Like, let's look at the other Tanabata LRs. Like, we have Super Saiyan 4 Goku on here, who I think is more hype. I guess we don't have any other Tanabata LRs on here, do we? No. Tech UI. I think you could probably make the justification for him, but like Tech, like I said, Tech is stacked. It's like you have Orange Piccolo on here, who's just like one of the best releases of all time, and the only reason he isn't higher is because, like I said, Tech is stacked, and the Beastless Gohan scenario and him not being his Orange Piccolo only being a giant, not a transformation, definitely hurt him a lot. But like it's just like the Tanabata releases, like this was not like a top tier hype. Like the following year was Super Saiyan 4 full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. The next year after that was transforming Sign into MUI. Like it only got way more hype as it went on, and I think these guys hold their own in my opinion. I mean I have them on here, and it's just like I think they definitely obviously weren't as hype as Tech Sign UI Goku into MUI, but just their release, their kit being so good for so long, and them being such a needed unit versus those difficult red zones, and then on top of that, just them having really good animations was obviously just why they're up here. This is a fusing Super Vegito unit. Need I say more? And this guy has a lot. Like this, is what I'm saying. Some of these characters just have like aura. Like I could have Ma Jr. on here because Ma Jr. as a release had aura. People were begging for a God Goku. Everybody knows. I said this before in a video. God Goku releases, people were every single Sunday, every single Dokkan Fest, they were saying this next one's gonna be God Goku. This next one's gonna be God Goku. Everybody who's around for the past year, people who haven't played the game for long may not they weren't maybe not have been around when people were begging for a God Goku Dokkan Fest, but this guy's Dokkan Fest, like before he dropped, it was what people were doing with Daima all last year, where this next thing's gonna be Daima, this next thing's gonna be Daima. Back then it was, in 2023, 2022, it was this next Dokkan Fest is gonna be God Goku. This next Dokkan Fest is gonna be God Goku. Every single Dokkan Fest people are saying next one's God Goku. And like obviously his release, they banged. Like they made him really good. He was good throughout all the year. The Sunday TUR of that year and the Golden Week 23rd World Tournament units were just so good throughout that whole year. And I think that definitely showed in the way the community viewed those units. But this guy definitely had a little bit of negativity from the Twitter. I don't know what do I call them. Dokkan LARPers now is what people are calling the Twitter baiters nowadays. But moving on, this unit, I think obviously like he just released next to this guy, and like Full Power Broly is insanely hyped. Like he's insanely hyped. Like if they had dropped this guy as like an LR instead, maybe he'd even be higher. But like I just feel like I feel like everyone on here deserve their place. You could have this guy like above this guy, have him up here even maybe. But I just feel like this is a good spot for him. But he definitely think he deserves his place on the list. We can look a bit at some typings. We're looking at Super AGL. Some characters we can consider: this Super Saiyan 4 Goku, AGL Super Vegito, AGL UI. I'm not gonna lie. Like, who's our last place AGL character? Ginyu. Yeah, I mean, I didn't talk about Ginyu. Ginyu's an all-time release on release. He aged badly in my opinion, but on release, the view of him was so immensely positive and like insanely good for a Ginyu Dokkan. Look at the characters that are on here. Like he is next to like Orange Piccolo. When did Superhero drop? 2020 something, like 2024, 2022 maybe, I don't know, something like that. 2021 Superhero, new stuff, Superhero. 2018, like Ginyu is on here. Ginyu and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta are on opposite corners. Ginyu's right next to Super Vegito. He's diagonal to Super Vegito. Like Dokkan Festival or Super Vegito. Like I feel like people, if you were around, like the Dokkan LARPers are not gonna get it, but if you were around when this started, like or when Ginyu released, then Ginyu deserves his spot on here. More than I feel like a lot of these characters. You could justify AGL UI just because of his insane legacy, but I don't know. Like for what Ginyu, how hype he was. Maybe it's like a cooler situation where for how hyped this character was and how well they did it, giving this guy, it's like with the Gammas. Like they gave this guy 2 banner units. They never do that. They put the Gammas on the same banner. They never do that. It's like that and just doing that. And then his guy working with all his banner units and stuff, it gave this guy an immense amount of aura, and him being so good definitely also gave him, like, it's Ginyu and he's the best TUR. Like that was, I don't know, it amplified what he was crazy. Yeah, I feel like this release wasn't too it was an anniversary LR, and I think he did his job kind of on release. Yeah, obviously you're not gonna be on here. No comment. This guy, massive fumble. You just, I don't know, you're not like enough. You don't have that oomph. No. Yeah, I really don't see anything here. And we obviously moved at full power Frieza. And I think, AGL, whatchamacallit, let's just look at releases. Let's try to look at releases in this past year. Physical, oh my god, physical UI, mate. I think actually, like, physical UI is probably on here. Like, he's probably right there. That's probably like physical UI. Actually, now that I think physical UI is actually probably like right here. That's probably where physical UI is at. He's I mean, now that I think, he probably is like, this is probably okay. This is the updated final list that I'm gonna go with. I think this is pretty good. Physical UI. This character was just handled so well. I guess you could justify having the tag 4s on here. I think they could be somewhere in this range, but I won't change it too much. This character was definitely a sneak that I should have remembered. But is there anyone else in the past year that I think should deserve to be on here? In Future Gohan, maybe. I guess. Now that I think about it, he really should be like right here. And we could move you down. I'll keep him right here. People view this guy very positively, but I think this guy's just insane anime. Him having Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta level animations was just like crazy. I don't think people were expecting that, but I don't think there's anything. Nothing. Yeah, no. I don't see anything else. Nothing else deserves. Nothing else. Back to the 10th anniversary. Yeah, nothing else deserves. I think this is my official Dokkan releases of all time Diamond. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to see. I want to see somebody else make one. I want to see what other people think, and I want it to not be like a baiter thing. Like if you have like Tao on your list, I'm not gonna lie. It's just not very interesting to me because in my opinion, the interesting list are the ones that are like kind of by like I didn't go a bit like obviously I have like the Gammas on here and that's maybe a hot take. I have Ginyu on here maybe. I have Future Gohan. I don't know like God Goku. Maybe these are hot takes. Maybe UI so high is hot. Maybe this guy so high is a hot take. Maybe Tech Gohan should be lower. Maybe this guy should be lower. Maybe Cooler is a hot take. I don't know what exactly is a hot take, but I want to see someone's opinion that is like a pretty typical player, but still has a little bit of bias. Like maybe you're a big, I don't know, GT fan, but you also like if in that being a GT fan, like I'm a big Vegito fan. I want to have Vegito up here, but I don't like what they did with this character. Like I wish they did more. You know what I mean? I wish they did better with this character's kit and design. But even though I'm a Vegito fan, I wanted him to be like higher, and I don't think he deserves to be higher in my opinion. So it's like, even though I want someone like that who's maybe like a GT fan, and so they're not like gonna just make it all GT units at the top, but just make it like, oh, I really like this GT unit, but I think that their kit sucked because this and this, and I want to see some like hot takes, maybe like, oh, they have like Baby on here, or like maybe they have, I mean, this would be a hot take. Like if I was gonna make like a units I enjoyed using on release all time, like I would probably have this character. Like I really enjoyed using this character in the Dragon Ball Secret team. Or them just being able to have like this character during the 4th anniversary, this character, and like the free-to-play LR Goku and Arale, and then after the anniversary, the first Dokkan Fest was a Dragon Ball Seeker Kid Goku. It's like that team was super fun. Just having a bunch of free-to-play characters to fill out your team that are all rainbowed, and having this guy or this character give a 170 lead, like it all to all stats back in that era. It was very, very fun, and I think like I would have them on. Like honestly, I might justify. I think I would. Maybe this is crazy. I think I have them on here. Like that's what I mean. Where it's like I want people to have like picks like that, and like I want to see some cool stuff. Like I don't want to see like I have Tao in my top 3 because I think Tao was really hype and they executed his design really well, and OG Dragon Ball is so good, and I'm a big OG Dragon Ball fan, so I'm gonna have Tao up here. Tao's right here. 23rd World Tournament units are right here. AGL Kid Goku, Path to Power. Like I don't want to see just like all that. I want to see like a bit of like, okay, I'm still hyped for Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Super Vegito, and Super Gogeta, and Blue Gogeta and stuff, but also like I'm a big fan of OG Dragon Ball, and so I do think Tao is like on here somewhere. And maybe 23rd World Tournament Goku, his release, I mean, I would agree with you, his release was handled so well, so maybe he's down here. I just think Tech is just so stacked. And maybe Junior is on here, his release was handled so well, so fun, like something like that, you know what I mean? Like I could, something where I could see the justifications despite having different biases. That's what I want to see.